We are set for episode 6 of the Prooper Murph Travoltathon.
He's really, really rad.
He's Travolta. He met Proop's dad. He's Travolta.
You'll know him from Grease.
He dated the woman who played his mum in this movie until she tragically died of breast cancer the year after the movie came out.
That's not funny, that's just sad.
It's Prooper Murph's Travoltathon.
You ever,
What have we watched this week?
We just watched The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
I just imagined might be. Oh, you've got it on DVD?
Yep, that's awesome. Right. There he is, John Travolta in his little bubble. From the director of Grease.
Really?
This is John Travolta in his Grecian prime. This is what people would call peak Travolta. I mean, peak Travolta to us is more his later stages, the Lucky Numbers look, the era when he met my dad. But in many people's hearts and minds, this is John Travolta's peak. He's in his teens. He's slaying poontang. He's in his little plastic bubble.
Yeah, this is 1977. So this is the same year as Carrie. It's a few years before Grease. I wouldn't say this was his peak. I would say this is like pre-peak. This is in the stage where he was really starting to blossom as an actor and as a Travolta.
But let's get into some general thoughts.
No, we need to get into the plot synopsis.
No, we need to get into general thoughts.
All right, let's get into general thoughts then. Ethan, what are your general thoughts on The Boy in the Plastic Bubble?
It's one of them very dated kind of 70s TV kind of movies, I think. Yeah. It's got that very bad corny music going on. The way the characters are and the acting and everything is very of its time. In terms of what I thought about it, opinions wise, didn't think too much of it, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was just it just was what it was. It's kind of a film for middle-aged women, I suppose.
Sort of just a film. There's nothing special about it, really, other than the fact that John Travolta is in it. It just exists. I watched it 2 days ago, and I've already kind of forgotten about it. You got this young suburban couple. They've had a kid before, but the kid had no immunities whatsoever, so he just sort of died. So they're like, should we have another kid? Their worst fears come true, and this kid has no immunities, so chances are he's going to die unless they put the boy in a plastic bubble. He sort of lives the first 4 years of his life in this hospital, and his parents visit him every day. And then when he is 4 years old, they decide that they are going to take the plastic bubble into their house. And the procedure is shown to be so easy. They literally just transport the plastic bubble in the back of a truck. So why did they not do that from the beginning? Why did they live in a separate house from their own son for 4 years?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was so they could have medical staff on hand at all times while he was in that most vulnerable state. Because I do know that this film is based on a real story. I watched a 12-minute documentary afterwards about the kid it was actually based on. They definitely took some creative liberties here.
Yeah, he meets this girl who is his next door neighbor. They're kind of friends somewhat when they're young, but then they drift apart because everyone on the street, everyone in the town knows him as like this weirdo guy who just stays in his own house because he has to.
But he's weird,
The woman who plays this girl is a terrible actor.
Really, Todd. I mean, when I come over, the least you can do is put on some clothes. Well, aren't you going to say something?
She reminds me of the girl in The Exorcist. She's kind of creepy, I think. She's got kind of a weird look in her eyes the whole time. Just everything about the way she delivers her lines and everything is just quite poor.
It's a TV movie.
Yeah.
It's low budget. I think they just cast her based on the fact they needed like an attractive love interest to rival John Travolta.
I didn't think she was anywhere near as attractive as John Travolta, though. Yeah, it's pretty much John Travolta is sick. No, he can't leave his plastic bubble because he might get sick.
So when he gets to 16 or whatever, he decides that he wants to be more integrated into society.
Sweet.
You've got John Travolta living in his plastic bubble, which isn't really a bubble. It's like a load of glass panels in his room.
Plastic. It's plastic. It's a plastic bubble.
Plastic. Sorry, my apologies. I don't really understand why they've built like a plastic thing in his room instead of just having having a room for him.
The boy in the room. It's not
Yeah,
got the
exactly.
same effect to it, Ethan.
To be fair, though, it is based on a real thing. So, I have to give him that it did actually happen. So there must be a reason for it. They put him in that spacesuit thing. What? He must have been about 16 years old at that point. It's kind of interesting that it took him that long to get him a suit, because in the little video about the real kid, it showed him quite young in one of them suits, but the suit was very goofy looking, very space
Among Us, very sus.
Very
My face
sus
when
indeed.
John Travolta is the imposter, am I right?
The hands on it had a thumb, a finger, and then just kind of like a mitten area for these 3 fingers, but it's like they were trying to make him look like an alien or something.
But he designs the suit.
Pretty neat, huh?
It's his idea, which implies that the technology has been there for a while. It's not like someone's come to him with the idea of the suit.
No, John Travolta's a genius. He just came up with it on the spot like that, and then they just built it for him. It was Buzz Aldrin, wasn't it? Buzz Aldrin came and met him in his bubble.
He shows up in this very awkward scene where he visits John Travolta. It's sort of like a make-a-wish. He's like, here's a little photo for you of me on the moon, and I've signed it. And John Travolta's like, cheers, special celebrity guest appearance, Buzz Aldrin. I really appreciate this image. Several points in the film, people give John Travolta pictures and letters. They just like kind of pass them through the bubble. It seems very easy that someone could have germs on their hands that they put onto the bits of paper that they give to John Travolta.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. They did not take the bubble aspect of it seriously at all. Well, I guess with the Buzz Aldrin thing, that he might have been able to sanitize the photo or something, put a bit of isopropanol on there. Yeah. But in that scene where he's out in the spacesuit in the schoolyard, and then all of a sudden... he stops breathing immediately, which is weird, instead of just like not having filtered air or something. They've got like a bubble chamber in there set up for him, and he just walks in there, closes the door, and then takes his suit off. Like that's not going to have contaminated the entire thing. He says, I don't have to shower in here because there's no germs. So this bubble is so secure and clean that there is not a single microbe in there.
He also says it's very warm in there, which means he's going to sweat, which means he is going to stink. And he is going to need to shower.
It's entirely possible. They could have thought that through a bit more, definitely. One interesting comparison is how kind of topical this film is. He attends school on a 1970s Zoom call with a little swivel camera and a TV screen. It's very much similar to the modern day.
When the teacher's got his back turned, he puts on Groucho glasses, which is that's absolutely hilarious. I mean, it's the peak of comedy.
That was hilarious.
Now. That's so funny.
Come on. That's hilarious. I mean, Groucho glasses. Ethan Proop's glasses, if you will. John Travolta kind of got the Ethan Proop's hair going on, though. And when he's got the Groucho glasses, he's got the full Ethan Proop's. He's got the Proop hair, Proop glasses, the big Proop nose.
Big nose, yeah. He's just trying to be me, isn't he?
I might have to quit Proop and Murph and just do it with Todd, the boy in the plastic bauble. Just do Murph and Todd instead. I think that one thing that it does get right is everything's awkward and cringe. You're watching it like with this face the whole time. Every single interaction that he has when he goes to school at the end and he's talking to the other kids, that is the sort of feeling you would want to feel when you have this guy who hasn't been in society.
Yeah, because the whole point is he's really struggling to interact. But I don't think they really took that far enough. I don't think it was put there to be kind of the focus. It just kind of seems more like it's hindering the aspects of the film that it's trying to go for, which is maybe sympathy.
They tried to show how different his experience was by introducing another boy in another plastic bubble, and this guy hasn't been like that his entire life. He's just got a tumor and he has been in this for a few weeks, a few months, I don't really remember. And he talks about the things he misses. He talks about the first thing he's going to do when he gets out, which is to have sex with a hooker. But then John Travolta's like, aren't you worried about the germs? And then this guy's like, I want the germs. He asks John Travolta
if he masturbates. I'm wondering if this is going to become a recurring theme.
Or is it the other way around? John Travolta asks this guy.
No, I'm pretty sure the guy asks him. No, I'm pretty sure the guy asked Travolta. We'll check.
I'm going to put money on this. I'm going to put £1 on John Travolta asks him.
It's a deal. I've got £1 on this as well.
Digital hands.
Do you ever Do you ever,
All the time.
Me too.
Ethan Proops, you owe me £1. When that scene came up, it reminded me of another scene. I was like, what film was that from? And then I remembered that wasn't from a film. It was from a dream that I had. Like, this is how much John Travolta is in my mind at the moment. He's invading my dreams. Yeah, I don't think that's going to make the final cut. I don't really want that to be on the internet.
I've green child, sit upon wall.
I don't think it's a good ending at all. It's very kind of cliffhanger. What's going to happen here? I guess it's supposed to be optimistic, but he basically just steps outside of his bubble, starts touching everything, is experiencing the world. He finds his girl, his female lover, and he hops on her horse and they ride off into the distance. And I guess we're kind of supposed to assume that he's going to die.
I don't think that's meant to be what we're meant to assume. That's what we are assuming because that's what we've been told up to that point, given the information we've been told in the movie. But sort of in the conversation beforehand with the doctor says you'll only die if you go outside and catch some sort of virus or disease.
Well, the thing is that girl is an absolute trollop. She's seen snogging all of the other lads, and she's seen doing dastardly acts. She's seen smoking weed and riding a horse and everything. She's probably riddled with
dastardly acts such as smoking weed and riding a horse.
Well, yeah, I personally think that riding a horse in this modern age is quite dastardly. I don't really have much respect for horse riders because they don't pick up their shit. They ride their horse all around Rosendale and they just leave massive mounds of horse shit everywhere. I don't think it's acceptable. I think horse riders should take responsibility and pick up their shit just like dog walkers.
You say John Travolta's always about getting that poontang. And in this film, he doesn't get a single poontang until probably at the end of the movie when he literally risks his life in order to get it.
I think it's a complete miracle that he gets a single poontang.
Yeah.
If you consider his scenario, and I think if it wasn't John Travolta, I don't think anyone else could do that.
Because he is seen to be very childlike. He's sort of like got a funky hat on. He's doing a dance. He is very immature because he hasn't talked to anyone. He hasn't had any room to grow and develop as a person.
I do know that the real kid died of when they did a bone marrow transplant and then something went wrong with that. I can see why they wouldn't have that as the ending of the film because I don't really think that would be too gripping or exciting viewing as opposed to him, walking out of his house and experiencing life as a normal person for the first time. And then the audience just kind of hoping, I hope he doesn't catch AIDS.
I've green child, sit upon wall.
The problem the film makes is that we're meant to assume that the horse girl is cool. I don't know if this is a 70s thing where the horse girl was cool, but in the year 2021, the horse girl is a massive loser with no friends.
Shout out Izzy Merrifield.
No, but you know what I mean, right? There's sort of that
stereotype.
stereotype.
I know what you mean.
It's established that John Travolta also has some sort of affinity for horses, but we never see any of that. So here's my headcanon, here's my theory. He's lying to try and get some points with his girl. The only time we see him care about horses is when he is with her.
I think his love for horses is spurred on by the fact that he lives next door to this horse girl. His main view into actual human interaction going on in the outside world is watching this girl groom her horse, watching her ride it. So I do think he is genuine when he says he loves horses, but I do think it is also based on this female.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But one green child, accidental plummet.
I want to say how I think it should have ended. Instead of leaving it all ambiguous, we know for a fact that he hooks up with his girlfriend, then he dies. I think that would make it a very good commentary on masculinity and about how
women ruin everything.
That's not where I was going with that.
It would have been interesting if he had have impregnated this woman as well, so that if he had have died, his deficient bubble boy genes could survive onto the next generation.
He is reborn as the exact same person. Like his brother that dies before the movie is John Travolta, but then his spirit is reborn. I think there is a great sense of irony to somebody who is immortal but is also completely vulnerable.
There was this one scene where he was sat in the playground. The kids were lighting up a doobie. He was there and he said, "Oh yes, I sit in my room and I can astral project. I am a alien from another planet and I've been sent here to monitor mankind."
I stare at an object for a long time, any object, right? And then I let myself sink deeper and deeper inside my brain until I find this center place that I like. Have you guys ever heard of out-of-body travel?
Now, I know the writers were probably intending for that to be just kind of an offhand joke that he was making, but I think it's a real waste of potential. I think The Boy in the Bubble would be a much more compelling film if they actually went with the plot of John Travolta has been sent from another planet in a plastic bubble to watch over humanity, but he has to pretend that he's a disabled person the whole time. After the ending of this film, he impregnates Mrs. Lady Woman, and then he dies, goes back to his home planet, spends 9 months there, reporting back to base, and then he comes back down, is born again, and the cycle continues.
I could see that working.
But instead of Clark Kent being his alter ego, it has to be a kid with immunodeficiencies who has to stay in a bubble. Yeah. But that's his cover story.
Yeah, that's... Actually, no, I've changed my mind. That's a stupid idea, Ethan. I think that the Boy in the Plastic Bubble, where he actually does have immunodeficiencies, is a much more interesting movie than anything you could ever dream up. Proop. Yeah, so it's clear that he pees and poos inside of his suit. Poo! Piss! This guy asks him, "Yo, how do you go to the bathroom in your suit?" And he's like, "The way the astronauts do it." Remember, he doesn't shower.
How long has it been since you've had a shower?
Oh, I can't have showers.
This man is going about his day just smelling like shit.
But only he can smell it. At the end of the film where he exits the bubble and goes sees Mrs. Fraulein Horsewoman, she should be, retching. She should be having compulsions of disgust at the stench of this unwashed character.
Horses
That's true.
Smell. So I reckon the only reason the horse plot is there is so that the poo scent of the horse can sort of cover up the poo scent of John Travolta.
That's pretty ingenious. That's changed my opinion on this film quite a bit,
For great child, sit upon.
Final scores.
My final thoughts is that the film is just sort of fine. It's even more sort of meh and fine and forgettable than Lucky Numbers, because Lucky Numbers had good and bad elements. I don't think this had anything particularly great or anything particularly awful. I'm going to forget about it, and overall I'm thinking a 4 out of 10.
I think I'm going to go a bit harsher on it than you. Throughout, it wasn't really the kind of film I'd choose to watch. There was nothing about it that really stuck out to me. It definitely wasn't so terrible I wanted to turn it off. So I'm going to give it a 3, I think.
So that's this movie. What's it? The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. What are we watching next time?
Should we do White Man's Burden?
Yeah, let's do White Man's Burden. If you want to watch along, check that movie out for next week.
See you next time.
Until next time.
Travolta, Travolta, a monkey. Travolta, Travolta, you make me monkey.